Welcome to the Simp to Pimp podcast, where we evolve you from the habits of simping to the habits of pimping. This is episode 7, and I am your guide, Max. My job is to navigate you through this perilous journey to unlock your inner pimp at a time where it is most critical to have it. Prepare to embark, and do not be surprised when you sense a spiritual awakening that overwhelms your body while listening to these dimes being dropped into your subconscious, metaphysically, through sound waves. We have a packed show for you tonight. I have a lot to reveal and a lot of upcoming news that will absolutely bereave you of the world news today. There is a new prophet I want to bring up to the forefront of this great attack on our simping to pimping conversion. These attacks we're receiving from the underworld to convert us back into simpagans has really destroyed the fabrics of many good-hearted humans in today's world. I have also invested into this project with more than just time. That's right, folks. Today I am confirming that I have ordered a camera so that we can have live shows and show you guys how I really do business in this new era of time. I'm going in full frontal, showing it all for the masses and giving you guys the image you need in these testing times. Yes, I know that sounds like I'm going to shoot some porn, but I'm going to have the camera to be able to shoot live videos for the YouTube channel, and I'll also convert the audio into the podcasting platform. So don't worry if I'm losing the podcast. I'm not giving up on the podcast formats. I'm just converting it later and after. Big bombshells are going to be sprinkled into the 7th installment, and the stakes are only being raised from here, my fellow fish. I'm injecting some real Bane venom into this live show's bloodstream. Now let's dive into the vernacular of today. The acronym Pimp stands for Positive Intellectually Motivated Person. It has nothing to do with selling sex for money. And so this character that came up with this brilliant quote is none other than the streets themselves from which it came. That's right. This actually came from the streets. It's a very important spiritual figure in the culture of pimps. You actually don't hear a lot from the streets in the ancient texts, but in modern times you hear a lot more of it. It's coming into the forefront, really attacking the situation head on. It's been a rise of interjection and voice from the streets as pimping has morphed into society in more than just philosophy, but actually in social media gatherings. You can take note of this in the meme settings of the world's paradigm today. We have the she's from the streets, I miss the streets, belong back to the streets. This is all connected back to the spirit of the pimp. It's actually where it's coming from. I can dive into this in a later episode, but I really feel like I'm already taking a lot of time here. These manifestations also deal with meanings of words and the way they change over time. For instance, being a pimp in England back in the 1800s was actually the same job as a ponce. They didn't even have the word pimp invented, let's say 200 years ago. They would just call it a ponce, which was the guy selling the prostitutes to other degrading humans just to make a living. And it continued for a long time. Just as 50 years ago, being a pimp was actually just owning women straight up. No contract or legal obligation, but obviously a street obligation for the times. And before that, when we were expanding to the West, when America was expanding to the West, they actually had whorehouses. That was a big industry for the times. The industrial complex of the whorehouses in the West as we were expanding for gold and other gold diggers. But as we look at the quote from today, the acronym PIMP stands for Positive Intellectually Motivated Person. So it doesn't even have to do with sex anymore. It's actually just a mindset, a confidence, an aura gracing the people that were the pimps at the time, and you should still transfer that mindset into today's world as we're continuing this decline of positivity that's being pushed onto us from social media and stuff. Now, the other side of the coin having a positivity mindset, changing its meaning into a mindset instead of an actionable job is the true debate of whether, and I've gone back and forth between this. A lot of times I had a very serious debate about this. Now I have to open the forum into this podcast because we've just dove in so many times that by calling pimping a mindset, you allow it to be actionable and accepted by multiple forms. And having it as a mindset, you can actually have people of all genders and races. Yes, I'm talking about women pimps. It is an absolute phenomenon that has been reoccurring for many years, and you can take real life examples of it actually happening. I do have, after much debate and relinquishing a lot of power here, we have to accept that women can be pimps in certain aspects of our lives, especially in a mindset such as the positive, intellectually motivated people. And this is also building in the culture of the new generation, new people. And with so many simps out there already, Simptobians, the fucking simp, Count Simpula, all of them that are growing in number so much, we do need to have it as the mindset. So the mindset of these people can be brought in as female domineers, female winners, and complete, actionable, real-life pimps that actually do a lot better than men in most cases of the pimping life. It's too easy to point out. A simple example would be Beyonce, how she matched with Jay-Z, and Jay-Z later in his music had to explain how she was also a pimp, and she's actually trained him on some game as well. And she's the one that, has the boat. She first invested into the boat that has a bunch of stripper poles and stuff, and male strippers, and a bunch of simpkins getting in there, as she's just the true pimp. So it goes both ways. By opening the avenue and the mindset and the flow of tranquility within the pimp philosophy, you have it both ways. And Jay-Z, of course, is no knockoff pimp himself. That's why they became so powerful people at such a time where you can't have too much power. You can never have enough power. And they swallowed up a lot of power, those people, both of them. Now, there's a lot to take in this episode. We have the streets as a very infamous, very powerful character within the pimping religion. We have the real debate of what's a pimp and what can we take from both and learn. I also want to really make sure we nail this, we get it down, and I don't want to go too fast into these lectures, especially when I could be losing some people that maybe don't understand and grasp what I'm reaching at here, what I'm actually telling at, interpreting, and understanding. With so much chaos into the world, this is the best time to be together and to understand each other. So as a positively, intellectually motivated person, I commandeer you all to the success that will come. Thank you guys, and until next time. This has been the 7th lecture of the Simp to Pimp podcast, and I warn you all, once again, don't let the simps win. End transmission.